Let's play football.
World Cup, 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 World Cup. It's time to play football. World Cup, it's time to play football. World Cup, World Cup, World Cup.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. I'm Noah, and today with me is Jai Bisho. Sadly, we couldn't have Davos or Faraz make it, and obviously Lachlan's still away at schoolies. So Bisho will be helping me out today. We'll just be quickly going through the games that have already been played. I'd call it the first round of the FIFA World Cup. Each team's already played once, which is it's good to see. And Bisho, have you enjoyed the FIFA World Cup so far and the games that have been played?
I certainly have. There are a lot of interesting games so far in this World Cup. The Australia game wasn't as good, but like the Brazil game was alright. Like the Portugal game was pretty good to watch. Woke up and watched that. On the top of my head, I can't think. I don't know, but there were a lot of good games that I was watching. They were really good, really entertaining, and just good to watch.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I think the Saudi Arabia upset on Argentina was probably one of my favorite games so far. I actually did. That was one of the only games I watched to the full. Obviously, falling asleep during what was it, England versus Iran? Yeah. That was terrible of me. And obviously trying to wake up for the Australia game, but I ended up missing my alarm. Oh, it's been a bit of a shocker for me so far, but we'll get the results up on screen. Obviously, just using Google, I can't be bothered to create a separate post for each thing. But the first game, Ecuador versus Qatar. Qatar. Sorry, I'm not sure what's happening there. Now, this game, obviously, a few people, pretty sure Ecuador were favourites, were they not?
Yep, they were.
And I think a few people. I made a dumb prediction. I've actually never watched a game of football before. I think England versus Iran, which I watched half the game of, except for the charity match, the Sidemen charity match. But yeah, so I ended up just randomly tipping Qatar to win 2-1, and yeah, no, way off there. Did you end up watching this game?
No, I didn't watch this game, but there was a lot going around before this game that Qatar were apparently rigging the score so that they could win the opening match. But Enner Valencia took that personally and scored a double to put Ecuador back into the ground and beat them on their home soil. And he had a good game. Scored a penalty, got a goal off a cross. He was probably the man of the match, I'd say, for me. He had a good game. Ecuador pretty solid defensively, and Qatar just went up to the standard that Ecuador were at, and obviously the results showed that.
Yeah, I did hear those the slight whispers before the game. Apparently, yeah, but I mean, I guess not, because Ecuador obviously following the win there and winning well 2-0. Yeah, I personally didn't watch that game either. I don't think I watched the highlights. Most of the other games I have watched highlights for, but not that game. Probably should have, but I might watch them. I might watch them after this stream. But England versus Iran, the next game. You and I both watched this one. At least I watched half of it. But England dominate. Iran did good to get the 2 goals in, but England's first half was just. Didn't they score? Was it 3 or 4 in the first half?
It was. I think it was 4. No, it was 3. It was 3 or 4. I think they got. Yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was 3, but might have been 4. Might have to double check that.
Yeah, I believe, wasn't it Bellingham, Saka, and Sterling? They could have also been more. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously great game. Might quickly have a check in this. England obviously led the stats, winning 6-0. 6-2. Sorry. But yeah, it was I feel like this was a fairly good game. Obviously England dominating. It would have been boring for some neutral viewers. But for England viewers, it would have been a great game to watch. Do you have anything else to add onto this?
England were dominant. I thought it was going to be 2 or 3-0. I thought Iran's defense was going to hold up a little bit more, but obviously not. England ran away. Bellingham, Saka, even Kane had a good game, even though he didn't score. But yeah, and then the subs came on. Foden, Rashford, Grealish all came on and just ran amok around Iran's defense. Rashford scored 20 seconds after he came on, but for Iran, there was one man that stood out for them. It was Taremi up front. Obviously got both the goals, and Iran just could not stop England, and the score reflects that.
Yeah, perfectly said. Senegal versus Netherlands. Netherlands winning 2-0. I believe I did watch the highlights of this game, and I mean it's only 3 minute highlights of a 90-minute game, but from what I saw the whole time, Netherlands looked to be in control. Did you end up watching this game?
No, I didn't watch this game. It was early in the morning, but all I know is that Netherlands got 2 very late goals to snatch the game from Senegal. I think it was Cody Gakpo in the 83rd minute and then Klaas in the 99th. 2 very late goals. But Netherlands, I always said they were going to be dark horses in this World Cup, and obviously they got 2 late winners. They stayed in the game the whole time, and I think Senegal struggled with no Mane, obviously. But I thought Senegal played pretty well from what I've seen in the game. But Netherlands just got the better of them in the end.
Yep, fair assessment there. Yeah, from the highlights, yeah, it looks like it was the whole time. It was Netherlands on top. Obviously, yet again, the highlights were probably more towards the end of the game when the goals were actually scored. Obviously, very short highlight reels there. USA versus Wales. I don't think I watched the highlights for this one either, but we'll go in. Timothy Weah. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Weah. 36, yeah. And Gareth Bale, a penalty in the 80s. Oh, wow. Actually, no, I did watch the highlights of this game. Yeah, a late goal for Wales to bring it back to a draw. Did you end up watching the highlights of this game?
No, but I saw a lot of highlights on TikTok. Obviously there's a lot going around on TikTok right now for the World Cup. Every second video is a World Cup video. But from what I saw, USA actually were dominant for a lot of the game. But Wales got the late penalty, and Gareth Bale does what he does best and just slots it away coolly and calmly and collectively to give Wales a draw against a pretty young USA squad. I think USA would be disappointed with the result. Obviously, they probably look like the better team, but Wales will take something out of that heading into the next game against Iran, and USA I think would also be feeling pretty confident heading into the England game tonight. Both teams look pretty good, and I think they could both challenge England.
Yep, that's fair assessment there. Wow, there's quite a few games. There was quite a few games on Tuesday. Argentina versus Saudi Arabia. Now I'm pretty sure we both watched this one, didn't we? We watched this one over a phone call over an Xbox party, and wow, what an upset! First off, Argentina scored first. That's the most impressive thing, that they scored first, and Saudi Arabia somehow managed to score 2 goals in the second half within 5-6 minutes of each other, and then parked the bus and did not give Argentina an inch. I swear towards the end, the game went on forever. There was what was there? There was was it 12 out? Oh no.
I think it was 7, but it went or 9, it went to 13 because Saudi Arabia were just booing the ball down the pitch, just time wasting, just taking the mick out of the game. But I thought 2 very quick fire goals from Saudi Arabia after Argentina were all over them in the first half. 3 disallowed goals, all due to offside. But Saudi Arabia, they must be so happy with themselves getting a result against Argentina. They were on I think it was a 35-game winning streak until 2019. And for a team like Saudi Arabia to knock them off, it's very impressive. And obviously Saudi Arabia, I did not think they were going to win this game. I thought Argentina were going to run away with it. But I'm very impressed with Saudi Arabia getting 2 early goals in the second half and then just playing a brilliant defensive game. The goalkeeper, man of the match for Saudi Arabia. And there's a reason why that man is the reason why Saudi Arabia have knocked off Argentina. Incredible save, putting his blood on the line. Just incredible from Saudi Arabia.
Now, there was a bit of controversy at one point because I believe the goalkeeper got a yellow card for time wasting, and then he managed to get another yellow card later on in the game, but it didn't account for a red. I'm not too sure what's happened with that. I'm not too sure if the referees just messed something up there, but yeah. Did you see that playing a big impact on this game? I mean, it was towards the very end of the game.
I don't really know. I wasn't really watching after Saudi Arabia scored their 2 goals. I wasn't really watching until about the 80th minute, but I did see it looked like he picked up a yellow card around the 60th minute and then picked up a yellow card at around the 85th. I don't know what was going on there, if the ref was even keeping track of the yellow cards, but if he did end up getting 2 yellow cards, it's terrible, and it could have cost the game because the keeper won the game for the Saudis, and I don't know. I think Argentina might have a case there with them.
Definitely. We look at the stats here. Sorry, this one we're going more in depth for only because we actually did watch this game. But Argentina 15 shots to Saudi Arabia's 3. 6 shots on target to 2. Obviously, the possession is a big thing of 70% to 30%. Like that played a big part of this game. The fact that the Saudi Arabia, they only had three shots and they managed to make 2 of them. Argentina 15 shots only managed to make 1 of them. Yeah, very impressed with Saudi Arabia, obviously here. And do you see Saudi Arabia possibly making it through the Group C, being a top 2 team in this Group C?
Well, obviously, winning the first game really helps, and I think Poland and Mexico had a draw, so they're 2 points clear. Now they do versus Poland and Mexico, and if they get some sort of result, they are looking like a really, really big chance of actually going through this group. As long as they get a result against one of the 2 teams, I think they are a huge chance of going through. And it would be very impressive. Probably one of the lowest ranked teams in the World Cup making it through the group stage would be incredible, and it would really bring the nation alive. It would be incredible for them. I'd be happy for them, and it would be great for them to make it through. But they have to get results in the next 2 games, otherwise they probably end up slipping down the ladder with 3 incredible teams around them.
Obviously, many had Argentina and Mexico tipped to be the top 2, and now Saudi Arabia pretty much saying, "Hey, we're here too," and they've come to play this World Cup. Good on the Saudi Arabians. Very good game for them, and especially defeating a team like Argentina, who obviously, like you said, had that big streak. Was honestly it was amazing to see. But Denmark versus Tunisia, or as Speed would say, Sunzia. This game, I didn't watch it. I don't think I watched the highlights either. If it's a game that doesn't really have any goals, I didn't really see the point in watching the highlights. There wasn't really much for me to see. But yeah, did you end up watching highlights or the game in general?
No, definitely not. It looked like a very boring game. Nothing really creative for both teams. I thought Denmark would have put 2 or 3 on them, but obviously if Tunisia kept them to 0, they must be doing something right. And I thought they were going to finish last with 0 points in this group, but they've really surprised me by drawing with Denmark, who are almost favourite to top the group ahead of France. But getting a 0-0 draw against Denmark, I'm sure they have something to take away from that game heading into Australia tomorrow night. But other than that, I can't really say much else in this game. It looked like a pretty dead game, but hand it over to you.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't watch it. I can't really say much about it, but it did seem like a bit of a boring game. I believe this was one of the later night games. It might have been like a 2 a.m. game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2 a.m. Queensland time.
Yeah, so there's no way I was watching that, and especially at that point, I still would have been doing schoolwork. I just ended up finishing up school recently for year 11 at least. But yeah, I think nothing much to say about that. If I'd watched it, I would have been able to give more insight, but I haven't really watched any of them. The only other ones I can give my thoughts on are probably Morocco and Croatia. Probably that, and you'd obviously be able to talk about France, Australia. I did watch the highlights of that game, so I can give a bit of insight. But we'll move on to the next one, Mexico versus Poland. Another 0-0 game, another 0-0 draw. Did you watch this game either, or same as me?
I didn't watch it, but I saw Poland missed a penalty. Now, obviously, the Mexico goalkeeper Ochoa, he only shows up for the World Cups. No one hears about him during wherever he plays. I don't even know where he plays, but wherever he plays, doesn't get his name talked about. And every time World Cup, Mexico call him up, and he's a brick wall. And he's one of the reasons why Mexico are big favourites to get out of this group. The goalkeeper, he's absolutely sensational. I don't know how he does it. He only comes around once every 4 years, but obviously saved Lewandowski's penalty, got them a 0-0 draw, and I think Mexico showed no real flair in attack from what I saw, but obviously their defense is good. Their defense seemed pretty solid. The goalkeeper obviously really saved Mexico. I think Poland were pretty dominant during this game, but the goalkeeper again just saved them in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I did say before I hadn't seen anything from this game. I forgot that it was Mexico versus Poland. That save came from obviously how do you pronounce his name? It was Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, yeah.
Lewandowski. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. He obviously got the penalty towards the end. What a save it was! I believe I saw that on TikTok somewhere. And yeah, I mean, toward the very end of the game. It was only with a couple of minutes left, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was like the 75th to 80th or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it was around there.
Yeah, definitely. The next one's going to pain us to talk about, but France versus Australia. France, obviously, they've been a bit plagued by injuries. They've had a few injuries to their World Cup side, but that didn't really stop them from completely dominating Australia, 4-1. And in the first 10 minutes, there was a little bit of hope for us Australians. Goodwin scoring that goal in the 9th minute. I did watch when I watched the highlights. At that point, I actually didn't know what the full-time score was. I just went straight to the highlights and I saw that and I started believing. By the end of the 3-minute highlights, I was ready to throw something. Bisho, you actually watched this game. What did you make of it?
I wish I never woke up, and I wish I want to have a rant, but I don't think it would be very appropriate for YouTube. But we started off so well. I don't know what happened. It pains me to talk about it. We started off so well. We were all over France. Mbappe was locked up. The Ninja Turtle was locked up. He could not do anything. Atkinson had him in his back pocket, locked the pocket. It was in there. But then we scored. I was jumping around at 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't think my neighbors are big fans of me anymore. But I couldn't believe it. And then it just all went downhill. 2 quick goals for France. And the defense is non-existent. Midfield, non-existent. Half of the attack, non-existent. We started playing again when Kual came on. He should have been out there at half-time. It's just shit. Graham Arnold needs to go. He's got no awareness. No one was making runs forward. Nothing. We were creating nothing in attack. I think our attitude was up. After we scored that first goal, park the bus, get a 1-0 win. But against France, we cannot do that. It was shocking the way we played after that. Did not look like scoring another goal after that, except for one chance for Irvine. But, it's terrible. 1-0 to then just lose, be obliterated by France in the second half. It's disappointing. There's a lot of words I could say about it, but I think we'll just leave it there. It's fucking shocking.
Obviously, with that being the case now, I think obviously there's the ladder. Obviously, a draw between Tunisia and Denmark, that really helps us out. Helps us really have a chance to really get back into this World Cup, especially with France and Denmark playing each other this week. If France gets the win and we can get the win against Tunisia, that will obviously put us up into second. Hopefully we can do that. But Australia, I'm not really liking our chances to win this World Cup now. Not that we ever really had a chance, but who knows? Miracles have happened before. I mean, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. Well, we can beat France one day. But Morocco versus Croatia, I watched this game, another 0-0 game. It was pretty boring. Did you end up watching some of this game as well?
Yeah, I did. I watched the second half. Morocco, they both played as good as each other. Modric for Croatia and Hakimi and Ziyech were the standouts for both sides. But yeah, it was pretty boring. The attack, it just wasn't good enough. Both teams couldn't score. Obviously, as it was a 0-0 draw, of course both teams didn't score. But again, Ziyech, he was probably Morocco's best player, but he didn't stand out enough. In Croatia, we're up to Ziyech, I think, and a 0-0 draw is probably a fair result for the teams. But from a neutral perspective, it was a pretty shit game.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. Germany versus Japan. Okay, this one I did watch the highlights for as well. I thought Morocco versus Croatia was the last game I'd seen. Believe I've watched this, and I may have watched the highlights for it may have been Portugal versus Ghana. I watched the highlights for that, and Brazil versus Serbia. I believe I watched the highlights for that as well. So we've only got a few more left to go here. If you're sticking with us, thanks so far for doing that. Now Japan coming away with the win. 2 very late goals, 75th minute and the 83rd. Did you end up watching the highlights of this one as well, or?
Yeah, I did. Germany. I don't know what's happened with Germany. The last World Cups they've been shocking, and it was a mediocre first half performance. A penalty got them their goal, and Japan were just the better side in the second half. I don't really know who was the real standout for Japan, but obviously, they played pretty well, and 2 late goals, and respect to Japan. They looked like they played pretty well, and they had a game plan, and they perfected it, and they just showed Germany who's boss, made them the daddies, and it's tough for Germany. They're in a tough spot now, and I don't know how they're going to claw themselves out of it. They looked pretty shocking.
Yeah, that's fair. As we see here, it doesn't look like anyone in the starting Japan lineup actually ended up getting a goal. So I believe it would have been their bench players, some players off the bench who ended up getting the goals. Apologies, I don't know who it is. As it is, I only watched the highlights for that one. But Japan, they definitely did well to get that win over Germany. From what I saw in the highlights, Germany did look very mediocre, like you said, in the defense especially. Didn't look too good from what I saw when the 2 goals were scored by Japan. But I mean, I guess that's just football, and Japan get the win over Germany. Been quite a few upsets. I believe Germany were actually tipped to win this one. Quite a few upsets, obviously, so far. I was hoping Australia versus France would have been one of them, but sadly it didn't go our way. Spain versus Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Costa Rica, according to Speed, isn't it? 7-0. This would have been a fun game to watch if you were from Spain. I don't even know where to start. I don't think I watched the highlights of this game, but from what I see, pretty much everyone got a goal. But yeah, nearly a Brazil if Costa Rica could have got a goal. But what did you make of this game if you watched it, or what do you just make of the score?
Well, I didn't expect it to be this high. First of all, Costa Rica just got run over the top of, and Spain showed their class. Their young guns, Javi and Pedri, ran the midfield. But Costa Rica just weren't there. They couldn't stop them. It was 82% possession to Spain. Costa Rica didn't even have a single shot on goal. It's like they just let Japan walk over them. It's like they did a mutual agreement to just let them score for their goal difference. It's like Costa Rica didn't even try. But Spain were outstanding from what I saw, and showed no mercy on the Costa Ricans and just put an absolute number on them.
As we see here, 1,045 passes for Spain in that match. Holy cow. That is fair dinkum. 1,045 at 93% pass accuracy. Holy cow. Don't really know what to say about that one. Obviously, Spain were all over Costa Rica, and Costa Rica, I doubt they'll be making it out of the bottom now, especially with obviously Japan getting that win as well over Germany. So Costa Rica, all the Costa Ricans who are watching the World Cup, tough luck. I don't think you'll be getting past the group stages this year. But The next game being Belgium versus Canada. Belgium getting the 1-0 win. I didn't watch this game, I don't think. I may have, but I can't. Oh, no, sorry, not the game. I didn't watch the game. I may have watched the highlights, but I can't remember watching the highlights, if so. Did you do either of those? And if not, what did you make of the score, at least?
No, I didn't watch the highlights. I didn't watch the game. Obviously, it looked like a pretty boring game, to be honest. Canada looked a bit flat. Jonathan David and Davies didn't really stand up. But for Belgium, I think Michy Batshuayi got the goal in the 44th minute up full half time, and then they just defended the rest of the game out and got the result in the end. And Canada have some work to do in their next game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to really comment on this because, again, I didn't really watch anything. Switzerland versus Cameroon. Now, I can't actually remember if I watched the highlights for this or not again. But I'm pretty sure from the score, it doesn't look like it was that good a game. But I mean, you never know. There's been some 1-0 thrillers before. Do you make anything of this?
No, I didn't. I watched a bit of this game. It was the early game last night. I was flicking between it. Switzerland, I think Embolo got the goal at like the 50th minute or something like that. Obviously it seemed like a pretty boring game though, and Switzerland get the win in the end, and Cameroon just didn't really look like scoring. I think from what I saw, they looked a bit flat, a bit poor, and Switzerland just got the goal in the end and just won the game.
That might have been what I was thinking, because I think last night I was actually switching between this, and I was also watching the women's BBL, which obviously, sadly, my Brisbane Heat did lose. It went down to the last ball. But Uruguay and South Korea, another 0-0 result. Been quite a few of those to start this off. Darwin Núñez, as you can see there in the match highlights picture. Did you? I don't think you watched this game, did you?
No, didn't watch this game. Didn't watch the highlights. I thought it was going to be a good game, a nice even game. Son for South Korea and all the Kims at the back. Kim in the defense, and the goalkeeper is Kim. And then for Uruguay, I thought their attack. I thought they would have scored on the Kims, but they didn't. Suarez and Núñez, look, must have been poor because they couldn't score. Oh, nice little run there. But I didn't watch the game, so I can't really add much to it. But I think.
Yeah, I'll just agree with you there. Portugal versus Ghana. Now, this one, the highlights, I do believe I watched. I know Cristiano Ronaldo had a pretty decent game, but the scoring actually didn't end up coming until the second half. 0-0 at the break. Then in the second half, Cristiano Ronaldo gets a penalty. Then Andre Ayew, is that how you pronounce it? No clue. Then I'm not sure. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one. But Felix scored in the 78th minute. Then Rafael Leo, I'm not sure how to pronounce that either. Leao, thank you. And Osman Bakari, maybe, 89th minute. All the scoring sort of just came rapidly. Judging by the times, and I'm not really sure what's happened. It seems like the second half would have been a good one to watch. What do you make of it?
I woke up at around the 50th minute. It was 0-0, and then I fell asleep again. I fell asleep right before the goal started coming. Ronaldo had a lot of chances from what I saw. Obviously got his goal, did the Sue. And then one of the Ghanaians took the piss out of him, and for their second goal, the player also did the Sue. Even though they were losing, it's like hitting the gritty in FIFA when you're down. I do that a lot.
Oscar Núñez. Bit of a shout out there. But anyway, continue on, mate.
Obviously Portugal got the win in the end. Their attack, it's incredible when you look at the sheet. Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Leao, João Felix. Jota is injured, but Ghana did well to only hold it to 3-2 and stop the scoring until around the 60th minute. And I think the Ghanaians can take a lot of positive things out of that game, and hopefully for their sake they can maybe even get through the group stage. I think they've got Uruguay. I think they've got South Korea and then Uruguay. Obviously they've got a lot of history with Uruguay the 2010 World Cup. Suarez handballed the ball out of the goal and they ended up winning the game. But there's a lot of hope for Ghanaian fans, and they might even be able to slip out of the group stage if they're lucky enough.
Yep, sounds good. I agree with that. I didn't really see too much of the game. I think I watched the highlights, and from the highlights, it looked like a good game in the second half. But I have a quick update on the final siren. I didn't really tell you what happened with Faraz. He ended up getting lost on his way home. He is safe now, thankfully. So he'll be back. He'll be back soon. Probably not on this podcast, but he'll be back as we're finishing up now. There's only one game left to do: Brazil versus Serbia. Wow, I didn't watch this one. I probably should have, but did you?
I was gonna wake up and watch it, but I thought no, sack that. That's 5 a.m. I couldn't be bothered. I woke up at 6, went back to bed. 0-0 it was 0-0 at that point. But Brazil, obviously, Richarlison getting a double, scoring a bicycle slash scissor kick. Incredible, might be the goal of the tournament. But the big headline coming out of that game is Neymar having to be subbed off around the center of the game due to an ankle injury. His ankle is all swollen up. If you go on Instagram, you'll see pictures of that. And but I think he's okay. But it looked pretty swollen. He might be in doubt for the next game. But that's a big concern for Brazil heading into the round of 16. But obviously, Brazil will be taking a lot of caution with Neymar's ankle. Might have to miss the next game, maybe the next one after that. But hopefully he's fit come finals time if Brazil qualify. But that could be big if Neymar is ruled out of the tournament with an ankle injury.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And obviously, we'll quickly check up on this, but because Brazil and Serbia now down the bottom with a 2-goal difference, and Switzerland obviously getting that win. They're in the top two with Brazil at the top. Serbia probably could. Do you reckon there could be a chance to make a comeback and secure that second spot, or do you reckon Switzerland or Cameroon have it locked up?
I reckon Serbia could probably still make it through. Cameroon, I reckon they could beat Cameroon. They've got a lot of talent in that midfield and attack. They've got Mitrovic, Milinkovic, Savic. It's a couple of players I don't know off the top of my head. I think they are a chance. They are a chance. But they would need to beat Switzerland and Cameroon. Switzerland still have to play Brazil. Both teams still have to play Brazil. I think it's good that Serbia play Brazil first, get the hard team out of the way, and then just fight your way back and make the group stages. I think they are a chance. They're dark horses in this World Cup, and I reckon they could probably make it out of the group stage if they performed in the next 2 games.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. That's it for the scores and results. I'll quickly answer this. Hey, National Sports Leader, mate. Thanks for joining. Are you guys going to do your team of the week? I didn't watch enough games to personally do a team of the week. If I'm picking an actual country that performed the best, I'd probably say I reckon Saudi Arabia definitely for me. Getting that upset on Argentina were the best team, but I can't really say much on it. Bisho, do you have anything to say?
Well, I could probably put together a team of the week right now, but it'll take a little bit of a while and get this wrapped up. But player of the week, I have to say maybe the Mexico goalkeeper or the Saudi Arabia goalkeeper. Someone from Spain. They scored 7 goals. Someone must have performed. Maybe Giroud or Mbappe as player of the week, but yeah, one of them. They'll probably go into the team of the week. But if I had to pick a team, I'm not too sure. A lot of players play out of their skins on all teams in the group stages. But I probably couldn't pick a whole team with the positions and everything. But there are a lot of players who definitely played very, very impressively in the first match week.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think. Sorry, one more question. We'll answer this and we'll wrap up. What about that bicycle goal from Richarlison? I'm not sure who that is. I'm sorry. Which team is he on? Please let me know. probably not a game I
He
watched.
plays for Spurs in the Premier League, but he plays for Brazil. It was a great goal. He flicked it up for himself and then did a bicycle / scorpion kick, and it went to the bottom corner. It was a good goal. It's a potential for goal for the tournament. But it depends. There's been some pretty good goals, and we've still got a long way to go in this World Cup, and there could be some goals better. But right now, I have to say that is the goal of the tournament. It's incredible skill.
I personally haven't seen it, like I just said before, so I can't really make a judgment call on it. But I'll trust your instinct and say that trust your instinct and say that's a good goal. Sorry, I'm just looking at the highlights now. So that's the second goal scored, right?
Yeah.
Oh my. That is okay. Yeah, looking at that now, I can easily agree and say yes, that is a good goal. Yeah, for sure. I'll quickly pause that now, but yeah, thanks for bringing that to my attention, mate. Yeah, that's a good goal. I definitely probably sad I missed that one out. Honestly, Brazil obviously getting that win was good for them, especially with Neymar possibly being out for a while. That's a big boost for them getting that win and looking towards getting out the group stage into that sort of finals area. But that'll just about do us. Thanks so much, Joe Bisho, for joining me today. Obviously on such a late notice as well, only about 20 minutes before the podcast or something like that. Appreciate having you on.
Yeah, my pleasure. I love coming on here. And it's good just having a chat about footy and stuff. I enjoyed it. It was good talking about the World Cup. Hopefully we can do it again a couple next week's time.
Definitely. But that'll do us here today. Not a bad stream exactly. Around 37 minutes, 38 minutes, something around there. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, everyone. We'll be back sometime soon. Obviously, Davos and Faraz will be back. Hopefully, sometime soon. Lockie will be back from schoolies. I believe it's Saturday. I'll be going away on Sunday though, and I'll be out for most of next week. So we may not be doing a podcast sometime until next week, Thursday or Friday. And I'm not too sure what it would be on yet. Probably something to do with Australian cricket. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. The FIFA World Cup obviously still on. Make sure to back the Aussies tomorrow night against Tunisia. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Cheers, Jarby Show again for joining. And yeah, see you all then.